All right, so by mid-June, I'd effectively accepted that the system was biologically mature in a broad sense, but unreliable for acropora frags. Just were not consistently doing well at all. They generally work for a couple of weeks and then slowly start receding, normally from the tips, and then the rest of the acro would eventually just succumb to STN. So with that said, I shifted towards LPS, Montipora, zoanthids, even some chalices, and any corals that were really responding well. So Acropora additions, occasionally I'm putting a frag in here and there to see how they're doing, but overall, I'll just wait a few more months until the tank is more mature biologically for the acros. So in the meantime, there's a lot of other corals that I can put in there and enjoy them, as well as fish. So that's sort of where the focus is now and how it's shifted on the tank, which is sort of the big news on the tank right now. I also wanted to point out that I noticed recently is the amount of coral and algae that has been growing in the tank. So, you can see from these pictures that I showed earlier, the video, coral seems to be really growing strong. But it wasn't until I was looking at a section and trying to remember back when I first set up the tank like 8 or 9 months ago, how stark and white certain sections were. So if you could look at right here, you can see like a whole area that the back, all these rocks are just bleached white. And now look at them. It is covered with purple from head to toe. So that part has been great because even in some of my older tanks, getting coralline to grow everywhere on surfaces was sometimes a bit of a challenge. So I'm really pretty excited on how much coralline is really growing on this whole tank. So as the tank matures, it'll get better and better. But I just wanted to point out that how good those that coralline was growing. I also wanted to talk about the Bologna or bubble algae problem that I was having in the tank. So, with newer tanks, one of the issues that shows up is algae problems, Bologna, or otherwise known as bubble algae, seems to happen a lot. So, in my case, I had literally thousands and thousands of tiny little pebble and BB-sized Bologna everywhere. It was encroaching on the rockwork all over the place. On the frag plugs, you can see some of these pictures here where you can just see it's a thick mat. So I ended up looking around and tried. Brightwell has a product called Razor, and it's a solution that you just dose, and it's supposed to do exactly that. It gets rid of a bubble algae, and I think it's supposed to work on other algae too. But it was the only issue I had there. But it's just you dose it over like a 5 or 7 day um, um, sequence, and then you do every other day for another 2 weeks or so until it's all gone. But yeah, in about 3 weeks, you can see from these pictures, it went 99%. It was all done, and another 3 weeks or so later, I see no bubble algae at all. So I was really impressed because in the past, I had spent literally months of every weekend manually pulling it out and going through that route, and this was just really easy. I saw no issues with any corals or any fish or any of that. I would totally recommend this product. I can't believe how well it worked. So that was my story with bubble algae, and nice easy thing of the past. So right after I had that Bologna outbreak, and after I treated with the Brightwell's Razor, I had a diatom outbreak on the sand bed. You can see here everything really just turned pretty brown for maybe about a week or so, and then didn't do anything at all on my end. Just sort of let it sort of burn itself out, and there's probably just some extra nutrients and everything that had been released into the water column. But as you can see, it cleared up on its own after a week, and then this is a couple weeks later, it's completely cleared up. So one little problem down. And all the other ones to come. So my final update is really on nutrients. So this is the month that finally nitrates and phosphates are holding on their own without any issues. My nitrates are sitting around 11 to 15, and my phosphates are right around 0.09 to 0.1, 0.11, which is exactly where I sort of want everything to be. And then alkalinity has been very stable, right around 7.8 to 8.2. And so the tank right now has been very, very stable for probably at least the last month or so. So, that took a long time to get everything without having to have any supplementation or anything else like that. I mean, I'm still dosing Triton Core 7, but outside of that, I'm not having to dose phosphates or nitrates anymore. And yeah, so right now the tank is holding great. And yeah, and that's it. So that's really my update for right now. As I said, a lot of LPS going into the tank right now. And overall, very happy with how the tank is progressing. Always wish it would happen quicker, but for where it is right now and where I started with, it's doing really well. So yeah, until next time, I will talk to you later.